Has Nintendo taken it too far with the information that golf will be added to Nintendo Switch Sports post-release? Is there too much drip-fed DLC? Let's get into it. Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Media. Today, I wanted to talk about Nintendo Switch Sports as a whole, as well as the concept of this free DLC that Nintendo has been doing since Splatoon came out on Wii U. So they've been doing it for the better part of almost a decade now. It's not a new thing, but every time a new game is announced with this drip feed DLC, people always get kind of up in arms. But for some reason, I don't know if it's just in my circles, I have not seen that many people talking about this atrocious Nintendo Switch Sports support. Now, full disclosure, I'm weirdly excited for Switch Sports. I'm gonna buy it, and you know, I'm part of the problem. I support Nintendo when they're doing stupid shit. So hey, if you're gonna blame someone, blame me, I guess. But the idea of golf being added post-release for Nintendo Switch Sports is absolutely ridiculous. Nothing wrong with having post-launch support. Like, another game in that direct that is obviously going to have it is Mario Strikers Battle League. Every other Mario sports game on the Switch has had that post-release DLC of stuff that's obviously cut from the game. So why do I care that Nintendo Switch Sports is doing it? Well, the issue is this is an entire mode, and with a game like a Nintendo Switch Sports, one mode is a significant chunk of that game. And although I don't personally care about golf that much, I'm pretty sure after tennis, golf is probably the second most popular Wii sport. Obviously, you know, in America, we're all about that bowling and maybe even a little bit of boxing in there. But I'm pretty sure overall, tennis and golf are the most popular two Wii Sports games. So to not have that in there is kind of ridiculous. And it just kind of begs the question, you know, is it really is it an unfinished game? Or is it just them taking advantage of you know, this will get them more press when the golf comes out in fall, because that's when it's releasing. It's releasing in fall, so the game comes out in April. So that means it'll probably be, you know, 5 months until we see golf added to Nintendo Switch Sports. And apologies if I say Wii Sports. I've been having trouble with that. Switch Sports, Wii Sports, it's all the same. If I say that, you know what I mean. I don't know. I think Switch Sports is going to be $40 on the eShop, and then if you want to get the little leg strap for volleyball, it's $60 for the little pack-in with the leg strap, the same one that came with Ring Fit. So if you have Ring Fit, you're good to go. Get it digitally, and then you don't have to pay the extra money. Is Switch Sports really worth that right now? Not fully featured? My opinion would be no. Like I said, I'm buying the game, so what does it matter? But when you're looking at Wii Sports and you already had Wii Sports Resort, it's kind of like, man, that had way more sports. I think Switch Sports has 6 right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tennis, volleyball, and by the way, 2 of those are net sports, which is always kind of. Oh wait, no, is it badminton? Let me do some research. Okay, 6 sports: volleyball, bowling, tennis, badminton, which is a separate sport, and Shambara, which is the sword fighting thing from Wii Sports Resort. So that is your six sports in Nintendo Switch Sports. Is that enough to justify a $40 price tag, $60 if you want that leg strap, which I'm sure it's out there, the information's out there, but I don't know if you need the leg strap to play volleyball as they demonstrated it in the Nintendo Direct. But I don't know, man. I don't know the exact number of sports that Wii Sports Resort had, but that just seems very low. I don't know if they're planning on adding more past golf, but it's just weird to me to release this game with 6 sports. Now, granted, there seems to be a little bit more to them now. Like, they showed bowling has like a battle royale. I think it's survival bowling, as they're calling it. So that's cool. There's like a full online. We already had a Wii Sports Online, guys. I don't know if you remember this. Wii Sports Club on the Wii U was Wii Sports remade in HD with online, and it bombed. Granted, that was on the Wii U. But, I mean, they already kind of did this. They already re-released Wii Sports with no real upgrades. I mean, this has some different sports. They got rid of boxing, seemingly, and golf, of course, not in the base game. So, I don't know. I'm rambling. It's just weird to me that out of all the games to get this drip-fed DLC, Nintendo Switch Sports is one of them. Because especially with golf. Maybe if it was like, if Shambara was the one that was coming out after, that'd be fine to me, even though that's what I'm more interested in, because that doesn't seem as essential to the, it's not integral to the Nintendo Switch Sports experience. If here's what I think. I think this game, bare minimum, should have had the sports from Wii Sports. Bare minimum. Ideally, it would have had everything from Wii Sports Resort 2, but that's a bit much. You know, I can respect not having everything there. But to not have the base sports that made Wii Sports so iconic, you're kind of missing the mark. You're telling me I can't box against Matt right now? There's something wrong here. I don't know, man. Nintendo's practices this generation have been a little ballsy, in my opinion. And it's like and here's the issue. You can't really complain too much because they are giving it for free. You just have to wait for it. Is golf done right now for Nintendo Switch Sports? Probably. It's probably done. It's probably on the cartridge. But we're still getting it for free. They're just, you know, making it come out later so that you'll play the game again. And it just seems a little scummy. You can't complain too much because they could charge for it. You know, that's the silver lining here. Another company would, like Ubisoft probably, or Activision, or EA. They would, or at least in years past. Maybe they've all been a little bit better. Well, not Ubisoft, but about like free DLC. But years past, they all would have charged for golf if it came out 5 months after, even if it was ready when the game came out. So I don't know, man. It's just weird when the thing for me is I don't really mind it when it's just characters or like customization stuff, or even maps. I mean, Splatoon 2 was kind of egregious with how much was in there at the launch versus the first game when it ended. Like, I mean, I think Splatoon 2 could have been a little bit more fully fleshed out by the time it released. But stuff like weapons and cosmetics and even maps, that's fine. That's fine to release that free. But when we're talking entire modes that like severely are different, you know, it's not like Splatoon with the what was it, Clam Blitz? Like that's not greatly changing what you're doing. Golf is basically it's an entire different game that they're just being like, yeah, you have to wait. I don't know, man. I'm rambling. But while we're on the topic, I do want to talk about Nintendo Switch Sports in general, because I've seen a lot of mixed reactions to the Miis, or the lack thereof. The thing is, there is Miis in the game, but they're not promoting it with Miis. I think, and this is my honest opinion, this is the smartest thing they could do, to be honest. A lot of people are saying it kind of looks like more generic shovelware now, and on the one hand, that is kind of true, but it's Nintendo shovelware, and Nintendo shovelware always sells. I don't think marketing a game with Miis on the front of it in 2022 makes a ton of sense. Although, now that I'm saying that, saying the word Mii made me realize that Miitopia just came out last year. So, I don't know if that game didn't do well. Maybe that was like their test. They're like, okay, can we sell a game focused on Miis in 2022? And maybe that game didn't exceed their expectations. So they're like, you know what, let's just do our own little new avatars. Or maybe they're just doing avatars because there's more customization you can do with, you know, chibi little Ninjala looking characters, which is what they are, by the way. They look so Ninjala. The game in general, like, I mean, I don't know. If you like Wii Sports, you're probably going to like this. It looks a little sterile. Like, you're playing volleyball in, like, this weird, like, mall. I don't know. Woohoo Island was so iconic. I wish they had just brought that back. Made it feel like a summer game. Because, I mean, late April, you know, we're getting close to summer at that point. I just wish this was, like, full summer themed. Because it's, like, these industrial, like, I don't know. Like, it's like a mall, like I said. I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me. But with that said, I mean, I enjoy Wii Sports, so I am excited to play the game. I don't know. I just think that their practices, as of late, are less than exciting for something like this. But let me know what you guys think of Nintendo Switch Sports down in the comments below. I am excited for it with, you know, some reservations. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at BoTalksMedia. Subscribe here for more Nintendo content. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.